Welcome to this session about SAP Cloud ALM, our autonomous application lifecycle experience, which we now offer in the cloud. Why do we build that in the cloud, application lifecycle management? Or to be more precise, what can we do differently when we build it now? The cloud, first, is clear, is a lot about experience. So clear we can change the experience. But we can also go to build an autonomous experience. And we'll go to that as well. But first, let's focus on experience. What is the first experience you're exposed to as our customer on the solution? Clear, you own the solution already, so you would like to onboard to that solution. And that should be straightforward, isn't it? Yeah, so you go to the SAP Support Launchpad, you click on the tile on Request Cloud ALM, you press the request link, and the only action what you then have to do is by either accept the subdomain or choose your subdomain, which you would like to have in the solution, and press the submit button. That's all. All the rest is done by us, which means there's a lot of actions now in the background. We create the platform account, we entitle you to use the Cloud ALM solution in the global account, we assign the user from the SAP portal as an admin user to you, and we create sub-accounts. We do all the actions which you can read down here, and we send you an email as a welcome email that you can log on. And guess what? All that takes about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you have this welcome email, and you can log on to your tenant and just do one action which we still want to automate, and all the rest is that you manage your users, that you assign customized tenants to the sub-account, and so on. So the majority of the tasks are done, and you can just log on to your productive tenant. What is this Cloud ALM? What do we speak about when we speak about a new cloud native and open solution for cloud application lifecycle management? Application lifecycle management starts with the implementation of your solution in the intelligent suite, with the process management, which is clear, driven by the fit to standard approach, with the task management, where is content driven based on our implementation methodology, so it comes with rich content, or with the test management, which is also based on our implementation methodology. And clearly, it's data-driven, out of your data, out of your system environment for all the monitoring. When it's data-driven, then we can apply machine learning. So then we can do intelligent business process optimization. And we can run an intelligent service management, which starts with the service planning and an automatical trigger service execution based on the service plan, and a full automation on the workflow and all the other tasks. So in the end, we can provide you an intelligent service delivery. And yes, we have embedded in our own solution our own built-in support with Copilot. So whenever you need support, we automatically know your environment. There will be no questions by the developer asking for your release or for your situation, which transaction you have been in or what you have done. We know the data. We are data-driven for all these applications. What means this vision of autonomous application lifecycle experience for Cloud ALM? It means that all the areas for implementation, for operations, as well as for the service delivery are driven by data, by the content for best practices, by the artificial intelligence powered by also our SAP data lake, and clear by an agile development method, which allows us to daily deliver into production, which you are using. All this integrated, driven by data. That is what is the vision about. Let me go one level down that you understand what means data-driven. Your solutions which you run with SAP in the Intelligent Suite you see on the right-hand side of that slide, SAP S/4HANA, SuccessFactors, Ariba, whatever you go to use, are the applications which we, and you know that already from the early watch, we measure your transactions, we get your usage data on those transactions. And we feed all this data back into our data lake with all your configuration and all your usages. What we can now build in the cloud is out of that with SAP Data Intelligence models, where we then can create for each and every tenant service plans and adoption advisor automatically based on artificial intelligence. And you get that back into your tenant of SAP Cloud ALM as a service plan and an adoption advisor for your service execution. So the data-driven methodology allows us to be very specific to your needs and to your situation. That is the living environment. This is the data. But what is about the coding? What is about the innovation on the features? Back in the past, you see on the right-hand side, we delivered the on-premise solutions in the past with kind of support packs or half-year deliveries or even yearly deliveries, which led very often to the situation that after applying a new solution or a new support pack, we had a bunch of issues. And yes, over the time, we could then stabilize the solutions. And you were hesitating to adopt new features and functions based on that experience, which was natural. So what you need is a much higher speed. What you need is a much higher agility and really continuous delivery and a completely new process setup and a new culture and a complete new set of tools to do that, to come to a daily delivery where the number of issues are always small because the increment of these micro deliveries is extremely small. And what we want to reach with that are happy customers, as well as a great developer experience in-house. So what we have to work on that, and what we did for SAP Cloud ALM, that we completely redesigned the innovation process which we run with you. Based on your customer requirements, yes, you know we do a plan, coding, building, testing, deploying, releasing, operating. Sounds like classical. The only difference is that we run that process on an iteration from coding to deploying on a daily basis. With a high deployment frequency on a daily basis, we read extreme short lead times for changes and a very, very small change failure rate. The idea behind it is a single trunk. A single trunk means that feature development and bug fixes, whatever we deliver to you in production, comes on the same branch daily. And features do not need to be visible. They can be hidden via feature toggles. And releasing, which means activating those toggles, is only happening when full tested. Let me explain that a little bit more detail, that you really start to see how that new behavior driven by new technology is solving that huge challenge of speed of innovation and quality. In the past, you know, the classical release management was based on classical development, which means every line which you see on the screen is a code branch. And there are several changes over the days or via the developers on the lowest level. But only in the circles of days and weeks, the upper lines get updated. And a customer release happens only every half year or after a year. And corrections have to be provided in parallel. A huge complexity, which is driven by a classical multi-branch approach, which means that you have a release branch at the customer side. We have a master branch, we have a bug fix branch, we have an integration branch, we have a development branch. We have branches as much as you want. Cloud comes with a complete different philosophy. Cloud engineering, when the developers are also running engineering, including DevOps, comes with a daily increment. So the engineering manages a daily increment of the software, which means that the single trunk approach leads that there's only one branch from the developer into the production. You can call it production branch or master, whatever you want. It's only one. bug fixes, enhancements, features are all engineered to continuously feed into production and have only a very short life in the developer branch. Every code push to the master reaches production within 24 hours, dictated by the support needs. We need to provide on a very short basis every fix to you. And features are released fortnightly, whenever they are verified and bundled together with the other features which you need. So every feature, end-to-end feature, which means documentation, translation, everything what has to come to with the feature is defined behind one toggle. And as soon as we release that feature and it's implemented and verified, we release it by activating that toggle. And as soon as the toggle is activated everywhere, it goes back to development and gets removed out of the code for code hygiene and for quality reasons. So you see, what we can do in the cloud is a micro delivery basis. And we do that release management on a bi-weekly basis, on a weekly basis, whatever is necessary. This cloud development process, so the new process, looks on a high level very similar, but when you break it down, then it comes with major changes. Already the definition of the feature has to be an end-to-end feature, very granular, very clear defined, and it's designed behind the toggle. And then we can build it and test it, and we test everything automatically. We have very fast running pipelines which run in less than a quarter of an hour to completely test these features so that developers always know that they are safe, that they are secure, and fully tested with their software. And then there comes the major difference. We deploy the code, which doesn't mean release. The code is already in the production of the customer. The feature, the toggle is still toggled off. And as soon as we have all the features together, which we would like to release together as a bundle, we activate the toggle. And this activation, and especially the deployment, has to come with clear qualities. We deploy in real zero downtime. Whether we change a database or whether we change coding, we have a zero downtime deployment. Whoever is logged on still before we did the update still sees the current version. Whoever logged after the update sees the new version. And this is in a consistent way. This is what we have to do and what we do daily since we are in beta since March, and now when we are live since end of May in our early adoption phase for Cloud ALM. So there's a great news. SAP Cloud ALM, a real cloud native solution, is a new star and is born. It is the answer to the market demand for reducing total cost of implementation and operations. That's what the scope of that solution, covering end-to-end management of multi-cloud and hybrid cloud environments. It comes with a daily increment as a cloud-native solution with all the advantages of a cloud-native solution. And now there comes the best news at all. You already own it with your cloud subscription for any cloud solution at SAP. You just need to start using it. So what we want that you take away is that you just look on to SAP Cloud ALM and that you go for that what I showed you in the beginning for the onboarding. Take the 10 minutes and onboard to SAP Cloud ALM. Thank you. And I have a great news for you now. With me here in the meeting is Andreas Löbel, the guy who designed all that. He's the chief architect of that solution, and he leads the team for the architects to make that solution happen. Andreas, when you see all that now proudly, and when you remember a little bit back about this great technology which you have seen now, tell us, what was the bigger challenge all this technology which you created with the team together, or the transformation of our processes and people, behavior, and all what I spoke about? And second question, what do our developers say now after real life since 2 months and have delivered every day?
Yeah, thanks, Wieland. Yeah, as you indicated, it's frightening how much was achieved. Yeah? The complete technology transformation to microservices, to SAP Cloud Platform, and the integration of that many tools and open source standards and topics that we have achieved. So that was a big topic, but the smartest and most impactful change was this fundamental decision for the single trunk, a single branch approach that you nicely explained. That this reduces the complexity of the different copies of our code in the different branches. We have seen the different lanes. And finally, we have just one any purpose code line, not only for releases and features, but also for patches and bug fixes. And that brings also challenges, because the bug fixes are then fixed inside a single trunk. So we need to bring that very fast to our customers. This high velocity, that's a big mind shift change that brings us to the daily delivery to production process, or even more often if needed. And I had some recap lately with the engineering team, and can you imagine that words like development clause, correction clause, emergency correction clause, support package stacks, hotfix news, that's all gone. These words resonate like from the last decade or even last century into our minds. And without any doubt, this was a much bigger transformation. Consider that we now run the largest SAP cloud solution on SAP Cloud Platform. And our engineers have now absorbed this new agility and simplification, and really we enjoy it now. And this can be even measured. We use Qualtrics and the results are stunning. Across our engineers, we see a significant increase of the employee engagement index. You might know that's one of the main drivers of the whole SAP measurements of the employee fork. And to a level we have never seen before. And this, although we have these technology challenges and even Corona. And maybe you have sensed that I'm also not talking about developers anymore. That's already one part of the cultural change that we have done. We are all one engineering team. Everyone who contributes to KALM is part of it. So, Wieland. So you see, our engineers live and enjoy the changed culture, processes, and tools, running daily deployment to production every morning. It's now like breakfast preparation. It's our new daily normal. But Wieland, what do you hear from our customers on the new cloud experience?
That's a great question, Andreas. Thank you. I think we, clear as the engineers, look also to our engineers, but we should much more even look to our customers. And when you see the customers daily onboarding to our new solution and having just the fun to get the new tenant within 10 minutes, then you get great feedback. That's the first what we got. So that really is something which is a complete new experience for them. And yes, they give us feedback now when they are in the solution and they tell us, oh, we need more content here. We enjoy to have that content, but we need even more for additional solutions of SAP. And you need to add this and this features. And the great thing is we can now directly interact with the customer on this kind of fast feedback loops, because as explained, we have this very agile implementation methodology now for our coding. We can now very fast react to their demands. And that's what the customers really like. So this agile provisioning of new content and features is exactly what our customers expect from us in the cloud and what we can now do based on our new process. Basically process, Andreas, I have another question to you. I have spoken a little bit about this technology and this feature talking and so on. Come on, disclose a little bit how we do that internally in meetings and so on, how we do that release management.
Yeah, thanks, Wieland. And I'm in several of these very important meetings that bring Calm step by step forward and let it grow. And one of the anchor points is the release decision meeting. At this point in time, the coding is already deployed, but toggled off for the users of our solution. On test tenants, however, the toggle can be switched on. So Calm engineers can let automated end-to-end tests run there. And in the decision meeting, we finally watch automated test videos.
So Andreas, like videos. I need to ask you on that. So they can really look to different switch of toggles on and off, so they can just play around with these toggles in the test environment?
Yes, we have different versions of the, when you log in, you can basically choose what type of feature set you want to have. And then you can test that. And we can even automate that test, because you can imagine there are some combinations you could choose. And this is automated. And every automated test records a video. And find the quality of our solution we can measure and see by watching that videos. So we also know it's automatically tested and checked. And additionally, some explorative demos are done. Security, compliance plays all a role. But finally, most of that is already automated as input for that decision meeting.
Brilliantly. That's really, that sounds great. I think it really discloses to the customer why we can really handle all this complexity of a daily deployment, which is in the end a massive simplification, yeah, for our customers. Yeah. So big thank you, Andreas, to you. And I know your passion towards our customers is huge. And in that sense, I really would like to close that session with our vision, because our vision is and stays delight customers always.